Today I will be going over my perfect NASCAR Cup Series schedule. I think this will be a fun thing to go over. For this schedule, I will be using the 2026 calendar. It's a few years out, and people, do not confuse this schedule with this year's schedule or next year's schedule. Also, remember that this is just hypothetical, and none of this is confirmed to be part of the 2026 NASCAR Cup Series schedule. This is just for fun. Now let's get into it. Starting off with the Busch Clash. I have no idea where this would be at, whether it's a street race or at a stadium or if it's at Daytona. But regardless, the Busch Clash will be on February 1st. The Clash would only include pole winners from the previous NASCAR Cup Series season and the winner of the 3 heat races that include all other Cup Series drivers. That's it. Now moving on, I would love to have Speed Weeks come back, but it will be more like a week or half a week. There will be Cup practice on Tuesday, February 10th, then Cup qualifying on Wednesday, February 11th. Then the dual races on Thursday, February 12th. Finally, the Daytona 500 would be on Sunday, February 15th. Next, NASCAR will head to the West Coast for the West Coast Swing, starting on February 22nd with Sonoma Raceway. Then the new Auto Club Speedway on March 1st. NASCAR would head over to Las Vegas on March 8th, then Phoenix Raceway on March 15th. Sonoma Raceway looks beautiful in the spring, and it would be a breath of fresh air compared to the dead grass we've always seen at Sonoma. By this time, I would expect the Auto Club short track to be complete. Now as for Las Vegas and Phoenix, they are just on the West Coast, and it makes sense for those tracks to have a race during this time frame. Besides, the race at Phoenix could be a preview for the championship. Next up is another super speedway. That would be Atlanta Motor Speedway on March 22nd. I think this fits nicely where it is on the schedule. On March 29th, NASCAR would head to Circuit of the Americas. The weather has been nice at Circuit of the Americas the last few seasons when it's been held in March, unlike the first NASCAR race at Circuit of the Americas in 2021. NASCAR will have their Easter race on Sunday, April 5th, with a night race at Richmond. I think it would be cool for Richmond to have a night race. On April 12th, NASCAR goes to Martinsville Speedway for a night race. This will not be a Saturday night race for Martinsville because the Rays seem to perform better on Sunday. I also think this would be cool to see Martinsville Speedway under the lights. Talladega Super Speedway comes up next on April 19th. It's the same as always, a 500-mile race. On April 26th, there will be the Cup Series only dirt race, that being at Eldora Speedway. I think this would be perfect for NASCAR and dirt. I'm not sure how exactly they would work this out, but I think it could work. The weather might be a little cold, but since it's late April in Ohio, then the weather should be a little warmer. Things will change a little now. Time for the North Carolina Swing. This 4-race stretch starts on May 3rd at North Wilkesboro for a night race. I think this is a great way to open up this 4-race stretch. Next, on May 10th will be a night race at Rockingham. It was announced that Rockingham will have lights, so I think it would be cool to see a night race at The Rock. Moving along, on May 16th, NASCAR will have the All-Star race at Bowman Gray Stadium. Bowman Gray Stadium is a racetrack that is inside of a football field. The NASCAR Cup Series and Lower Division NASCAR Series races have been here before. Races here are crazy as tend to happen with the small length of the track. So Saturday, May 16th at Bowman Gray Stadium for the All-Star race. The next race will be the traditional Coke 600 at Charlotte Motor Speedway. This will be on Sunday, May 24th. Now that the North Carolina Swing is over, it's time for Gateway on May 31st. It will be a 300-mile race and it will be in the middle of the day, just like what is going on now. Then on June 7th, NASCAR will make its annual visit to Canada by visiting Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal. Sorry if I butchered that name. This is the F1 circuit in Canada. I think this is a great way for NASCAR to go international. The next week will be an off week from racing, which should be nice for everyone. NASCAR will return to racing on Sunday, June 21st at Iowa Speedway. This will be a night race. By this time, this could be NASCAR's great return to Iowa Speedway after leaving the facility. Plus, This is another short track, and fans are always wanting more short tracks on the schedule. The next race will be on June 28th, and it will be a night race at Nashville Super Speedway. I think Nashville Super Speedway has proven itself as a good track on the NASCAR Cup Series schedule, and I think it deserves to be on the schedule. But we will be staying within the Nashville area, as on July 5th, NASCAR will have a race at the Nashville Fairgrounds. I think this would be a great option for NASCAR on the 4th of July weekend. This weekend of racing will include the Truck Series and the Xfinity Series as well. Now, this may never happen in real life, but this is my schedule, and I have full control of the whole schedule with no problems. Next is a mini East Coast swing, starting off with New Hampshire on July 12th and finishing with Pocono Raceway on July 19th. I think these two tracks benefit from having one race. Next on July 26th will be another road course, Road America. Road America would return to the Cup Series for the first time since 2022. I see no reason why they should have gone away from the Road America. This track, although not a winner for TV ratings, was a great track for attendance. From what I've heard, the attendance was about or over 100,000 people in attendance for both Cup races at Road America. Sure, the racing may need some help, but I think we can fix that. And besides, so many people came out to see the Cup Series. This would be NASCAR's only stop in Wisconsin. Next up is Michigan on August 2nd. This will be NASCAR's only stop in Michigan, as I don't think Michigan needs another date. On August 9th, we will see NASCAR in Indianapolis, this time for the Brickyard 400. We are done with the road course, and I want to see how the next-gen car would perform the oval at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Next, on August 16th, I have Watkins Glen International. This will be the final road course before the start of the playoffs. I think this will be a good date for Watkins Glen. Now the regular season finale will be at Daytona on Saturday, August 22nd, under the lights, starting before the sun sets. Daytona gets bumped up 1 week as the schedule is shorter by 1 week. Now, I still do have the playoffs with 10 races. Now, the playoffs will start. The round of 16 has the Bristol night race on Saturday, August 29th, the Southern 500 at Darlington on September 6th, then a return to the Chicagoland Speedway on September 13th. I think the Bristol night race will benefit from having a race in August because of the weather. Then nothing needs to change for the Southern 500. That should always be the Sunday before Labor Day. Finally, I think NASCAR will not race in the streets of Chicago long term. So I think the Chicagoland Speedway would be the second best option for replacement for the Chicago street race. Besides, I think people want to see the Chicagoland Speedway return. Next up is the round of 12. The races are Dover on September 20th, the second Talladega race on September 27th, and the Charlotte Roval on October 4th. I think Dover having one date would work well inside the playoffs, though different from other tracks in the playoffs. The racing may need some improvement. It feels like Dover is pretty much a one-groove racetrack and hard to pass at, but I would love to see it in the playoffs again. Talladega is always a wild card, and I think the chaos will ensue in the round of 12. Finally, the Charlotte Roval. It seems like this track is chaotic for the end of the round of 12, so I think it works well in this spot. Next up is the round of 8. The round of 8 races are the Lone Kansas race on October 11th, Homestead, Miami on October 18th, and the second Martinsville race on October 25th. I think all these races have the potential of being really good, and I think it will prove how good the drivers are. Finally, the championship finale will be at Phoenix Raceway on November 1st. I think this is a great venue to have a championship race. But there's one problem. The racing. The racing needs some great improvement. There's been too many lackluster races at Phoenix, and although I'm keeping it as the championship venue, they need to fix the racing one way or another. That's it. That was my perfect NASCAR Cup Series schedule. Now here are some facts about the schedule. Races that are not on the schedule include the Chicago Street Race, the Indy Road Course, and Texas Motor Speedway. Tracks that lost to races include Las Vegas Motor Speedway, Atlanta Motor Speedway, Richmond Raceway, Kansas Speedway, Darlington Raceway, and Bristol Motor Speedway in any form. New tracks coming to the schedule include Rockingham Speedway, Bowman Gray Stadium, Iowa Speedway, Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, sorry if I butchered the name, and Nashville Fairgrounds. Tracks that return include Chicagoland Speedway, the Indianapolis Oval, and Road America. Now I want to hear from you. Tell me what track you would like to see on the NASCAR Cup Series schedule. Thanks for watching and have a good rest of your day.